Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, it's no surprise. I don't think much of the division. I don't think nobody in the division is better than the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been saying that time and time again. So, as you know, at some point in some of my whiteboard segments, I like to give a grading, just a method of grading, just a rubric that I came up with. It's very simple. It's very elementary. I don't think nothing has to go into it, how I get these final grades. But, you know, a lot of people like to say this is a two-man race. I think that the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys are really close. I think they're really close. But we all can agree on this. A blind man can see that the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC East. Don't matter who won the division last year. Let's talk about the moves being made. Let's talk about everything that happened. Let's talk about quarterbacks. Let's talk about head coaches. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the division. And it's like by a long shot, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think that we suffer from just being in the NFC East and they have to bloviate about one specific team so much that they have to make it tight to appease that fan base. You know what I mean? We all suffering from that as Philadelphia Eagles fans. You know, it's not even about the respect or the just due. We know what we accomplished. We know we got a Super Bowl championship, the most recent one. Now we're going to talk about some key positions, skill positions that matter, that separate these teams apart, and also offense and defense, man. Let's get it. All right, man. It's pretty simple, man. It's simple what I think about this, man, and what's going on. So we're going to start with the quarterback position. So at quarterback, I give the Philadelphia Eagles a 5. It's simple, man. We got Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? He's flashed MVP levels of success. Nobody else in the division is even close to having a quarterback do those things. You know what I'm saying? It's easily a 5 for the Philadelphia Eagles when you talk about grading quarterbacks. We have a guy at quarterback who people are championing to be at least in the top 3 in the MVP race. I think he's going to end up getting it. My second best quarterback in the division is Eli Manning, man. I've said that time and time again. I'm going to tell you why Eli Manning is the second best quarterback in the division. Give me another quarterback that threw for 4,000 passing yards in the last 3 years in the NFC East. I think Eli Manning did it twice. Eli Manning got, by far, listen, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys have top 3 offensive lines. Top 3 offensive lines. Eli Manning don't have none of that, bruh. None of that. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys offensive lines finish middle of the pack, but they rank high every year. Eli Manning offensive line not even ranked. I don't know if that's the case of them being just underrated or what, but this is the facts. We know Eli Manning don't have an offensive line, and he still could throw over 4,000 passing yards. Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz have not done that in their career, period. Eli Manning still does that. He's not even mobile. He's standing in the pocket, and he's completing passes, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think he can make more throws on the field than Dak Prescott. I think his deep ball is leaving him, but I believe that the New York Giants put Golden Tate in place, who ain't a deep guy, who a guy that's going to come across the seam and help get some yards after catch. He's going to really boost the level of play that we see from Eli Manning, man. I give Dallas Cowboys a 2 at quarterback. I give the Redskins a 1 at quarterback, mainly because the Redskins going to have a rookie. They're going to have a rookie there. I give the Dallas Cowboys a 2 at quarterback because of this, man. I know people going to jump in the comments and just talk whatever they're going to talk about it. I'm being honest. I'm being true to what I see when I watch football. Listen, everybody wants us to talk about the comebacks that Dak Prescott leads, but they also don't give us the full story with that, man. They don't tell us that, listen, Dak Prescott has amazing comebacks. I believe he got the most comebacks in the NFL since entering the NFL, but they don't like to talk. If the field is 100 yards, Zeke running 60 of that, 70 of that, and Dak Prescott passing 30 of that, and Zeke running it in at the end of it. Does the quarterback really get the credit for that? Of course the quarterback gets the credit for that. That's just the way the NFL is. But you know that the bulk of the lifting on those comebacks come from the Dallas Cowboys running the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I mean? That's just the facts, man. It's documented. Look it up, man. Running back. Now, this may surprise a lot of people how high I am on Jordan Howard. The Philadelphia Eagles got the lowest running back grade out of this, man. The lowest running back grade out of this, man. It may surprise some people. I give the Philadelphia Eagles a 3 for running back. The Giants get a 4, man. Saquon Barkley and what he did without an offensive line, I think people are going to key on it and slow him down a bit more, but he's going to get a 4 for that, man. Ezekiel Elliott, man, Russian leading champion, man. The Dallas Cowboys get a 5 there, man. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Dallas Cowboys get a 5 at running back. Let's be for real, man. They're masters at zone. They're masters at, they perfected, that offensive line has perfected how to run the zone reads, and you know what I mean? Like they run the ball to perfection, man. There's no secret in what they do, man. The Redskins, I give them a 4 there. They're getting Geist back, and AP still at his age is still putting on for the Redskins. So at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles, because they got a lot to prove. A lot of these guys got returning running backs. We got a whole new running back room for the most part. We got a lot to prove. I think we could have went higher there, but to be fair and to be non-biased, the Eagles get a 3. Wide receiver, I combine wide receivers and I combine tight ends right here. The Philadelphia Eagles get a 5 right there. Alshon Jeffrey is a #1 receiver. I recently read an article that said one of the top 3 concerns of the Philadelphia Eagles is they don't have a #1 receiver. What the hell? We don't need a #1 receiver. Think about the guys with #1 receivers. How many of them won the Super Bowl lately? The Patriots don't have a #1 receiver. Patriots winning a lot of Super Bowls. Eagles don't have a #1 receiver according to them. Eagles won the Super Bowl. If you're looking for a guy that's going to get you 1,500 receiving yards and make the Pro Bowl and do this and that and still don't win a Super Bowl, that's not our concern. DeAndre Hopkins is a #1 receiver according to these guys. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, they ain't been winning those Super Bowls lately. They have not been winning those Super Bowls lately, man. So I don't get the importance of them saying that. But if you want to add wide receivers and tight ends as a collective receiving core, the Philadelphia Eagles get a 5 all day. Alshon Jeffrey, some of the best hands in the NFL. Deshaun Jackson, one of the fastest players in the NFL. Zach Ertz, clearly one of the best tight ends in the NFL. You know what I mean? You got the fastest player in the NFL, the best tight end in the NFL, arguably. You got the best hands, arguably. And then you got a slot receiver like Nelson Aguilar who could go somewhere and be a #1 on a team that don't have a receiver at all. Nelson Aguilar would be the #1 in Washington. You hear me? He'd be the #1 in Washington. Nelson Aguilar would be competitive for the #1 in New York as well. But Sterling Shepard will have something to say about that. The Giants, man, I give the Giants a #2 at wide receiver, man. And because you combine a wide receiver and tight ends. If Ingram is healthy, this grade probably goes up. If Golden Tate has a good year, this grade probably goes up. But you don't know what you're going to get out of these guys in the absence of Odell Beckham Jr. You don't know how they're going to look, who's going to want to step up. You don't even know if these guys want to even step up. They've been coddled by OBJ being there, him getting the double teams, and most of the attention being on him. I gotta see more out of these guys. Dallas Cowboys, they get a 2 from me. I don't care what nobody say. Amari Cooper is an amazing wide receiver, but you have no tight end presence at all. You don't know what you're getting out of Randall Cobb. You don't know what you're getting out of Randall Cobb. You don't know what you're getting out of Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what you're going to get from quarterback to wide receiver. You don't know. Ezekiel Elliott had 77 receptions last year. If that's your plan, okay, you got #5. You got 5 at running back. If your plan is to throw a lot of balls to Zeke when you're in trouble, I just don't get it, man. And also for the New York Giants, they also get it too because they don't have a deep threat at all. They just don't have a deep threat at all. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. The Redskins got #2. Probably should be a 1. I have no idea who the hell their wide receivers are. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Reed. That's just what it is with me, man. That's where I see these guys, man. Offense. So total offense. A lot of people would say how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles. They should have a 5 at offense. This is the reason why the Eagles get a 4 from me. The offensive coordinator, man. The offensive coordinator blew a lot of games for us, man. Like I said, we got new running backs. Carson Wentz, I believe he's 100%, but Carson Wentz still got to show you something. So they get a 4 right there from me. Giants, all around offense, I give them a 3, man. I think Eli Manning is being walked over like a dog. I think he's better than what a lot of people would have you believe. I think Eli Manning's still throwing 4,000 yards in a season. You know what I mean? Eli Manning, I give him a 3 there, man, in total offense. You got Saquon. Cowboys, I give him a 3 there as well. Same goes for that, man. Dak Prescott can make plays. You still got Ezekiel Elliott. You'll be able to control the clock in most games when you're up big. So I'll give you a 3 right there. Redskins, I got to give you a 2, man. I have no idea what you're going to do. Are you going to run the ball to death? Who's going to be your quarterback? I just don't know about you. Total defense, man. I give the Philadelphia Eagles a 4 right here. Being as though we got a lot of cornerbacks coming off injury. We don't know who's going to play where. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are the right move at cornerback from basically guaranteeing their spot to the Super Bowl. I believe it really rides on who they decide to start at cornerback. You can play favorites and bring back Jalen Mills, who was getting beat like an African drum, or you can give that slot to Avonte Maddox, who proved that he's ready. Or you can give a lot of reps to Crevion Block, who proved that he's ready. Or you can let Rasul Douglas touch the field, who proved he was ready. And you also got Rodney McLeod coming back, but you got other safeties who I believe are going to prove that they're ready as well. And you still got your guy in Malcolm Jenkins, man. Giants, I give them a 2 right there. The Giants lost Landon Collins. The Giants really, in my opinion, didn't build anything, didn't try to revamp that defensive line. They get a 2 for me, man. The Dallas Cowboys, when it comes to total defense, I'll give them a 3. The Dallas Cowboys defense is overrated to me, as I stated in my last video. The Dallas Cowboys, they appeared to be really good on defense until they got ran through like an Amsterdam brothel in the playoffs. You know what I mean? How good really is your defense if you can't step up on the biggest of stages and you give up 100 yards to 2 running backs on the same team in the same night? One guy had 16 carries and ran for over 100 yards. How good is that defense really when you can be figured out like that on the whim and you can just be out-coached? I mean, you get a 3 right there, man. You can't get no 4 or no 5 for performances like that. Redskins, I also give them a 2 as well. So total grades, man, I guess the best you can get with this rubric is a 5. Philadelphia Eagles 4.2, Giants 2.8, Dallas Cowboys a 3, and the Redskins a 2.2. Now, with this being said, I got Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins. That's how I believe the division is going to turn out, man. I believe the Eagles are going to win the division. I believe the Giants are going to come in second place. I believe the Cowboys are going to be in third place, and I believe the Redskins are going to be dead last. I'm almost like guaranteeing that this is going to happen. I'm trying to tell you. So when it happens this way, I just don't want to hear nothing from nobody. I'm trying to tell you, it's not a 2-man race, man. I thought it was earlier, but why should it be a 2-man race? What makes you all believe that it's a 2-man race? The Dallas Cowboys finally arrived. How? How have they finally arrived? The Dallas Cowboys have been very fortunate to not run into incidences of injury. They've been very fortunate, man. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to them this year, but DeMarcus Lawrence just had surgery. You don't even know if you're going to get him for the first 5 games of the season. You don't even know that. He might not be coming back till week 6. So are you even going to have a pass rush? It's a lot of question marks for a lot of teams that makes me believe it's not as close as people think it is. You know what I mean? Anything can happen, man. But I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are a lock to win the NFC East. It could be a 2-man race. It really could be. But based off what I'm seeing and based off the direction that some of these teams are going in, I believe that the New York Giants will take a step in front of the Dallas Cowboys, man. We're going to have to really see, though. But let me know what you think in the comments.